Welcome back. You're watching NSE FinWiz powered by CNBC TV 18. I have two very special guests with me, FinWiz Aziz and Deepak Chhabria. FinWiz, let's come back to our conversation. So I want to talk to you about, we've spoken about some of the major asset classes. We've spoken about debt, equities, gold, real estate. But a common query is also, how much of my investments, how much of my savings should go in X and how much should go in Y? Is there a thumb rule? Because I've heard of 100 minus your age should be in equity. What's that? What's your view on that?
How much do you put will depend on what? Your age, your risk appetite, your earning capability, your goals, your contemporary situation of different asset classes. So there are too many moving parts to have a standard answer, right? So never go with a thumb rule on something so critical, because mostly your fate will depend. Your money's fate will completely depend on your asset allocation. So it's so important that you should not take a thumb rule for it. So I would completely recommend you not to go with any thumb rule whoever gives, because it's personal to you and this will determine what is your financial status 10, 20, 30 years from now. So spend time on it. Make sure that you get some advisor. Today what happens is you get certified financial planners who can plan this for you at a very, very reasonable cost.
Deepak, then how can they go about getting a good certified financial planner? Because where do we search on the net? Do we ask friends? How do we go about doing that?
I think the first preference will be to ask somebody who is using already one financial planner, and then set up a meeting with the financial planner and ask all the relevant questions and the right questions, right from a basic question about the cost involved and what is the services that a financial planner offers. You can visit the site of FPSB, that is Financial Planning Standard Boards of India. You will have a list of financial planners over there, and in your city the list will be available as per the city wise. So you can use this to identify one which is more suitable to you. So what you can do is you can meet couple of them before you shortlist the one that you get along well. It's very important that you hire a financial planner whom you are able to get along well, and because this relationship is going to last you for years. This is not a short-term relationship. There are going to be goals which are going to be set. They are going to monitor that for you, and that has to go on for a very long time.
And is it also good to do some research on your own about the markets, or rather about investment, that your understanding that maybe you do some research on the net and then also go talk to the financial planner?
Definitely. I think for you to ask the right questions is very important, that you know something about the investments yourself. So there are plenty of websites available that you can visit and read up before you go and meet the right person.
Firoz, let's talk about insurance, which is something that everybody here knows. They deal with it almost every day, and they would be one of the first people to agree that yes, medical insurance is important. But how important is life insurance? And more importantly, different types. There is ULIPs and there's term plans, the basic ones. How important and which one?
See, insurance is a very, very important part of somebody's planning. Why is it so important? See, there are two problems when somebody is no more. One is an emotional trauma which a family goes through. The last thing you want to club it is with a financial trauma, right? Can your family or any earning member leave one solvable problem to the survivors who are there in his family? So it's very critical that you take an insurance which is a plan B. See, life is all about having a plan B. You have a plan A, saying that I'm going to earn so much money for the next 20-25 years, or my retirement is going to be taken care of, my child's education is going to be taken care of, my child's marriage would be taken care of. That's all plan A, right? But what's your plan B? How can you not have a plan B on something so critical, right? That's where insurance comes into picture, saying that if you are not there, at least insurance will replace your financial value, not your physical, emotional value, but at least your financial value can be replaced. And so it's very, very important that you can't even take a day's risk, because this world is all about uncertainty, right? I can't even comment that next week I will come back and have a conversation with any of you, right? I would not meet Sumit again. I don't know. So if there is so much uncertainty in the world, should you have a plan B? You have to ask yourself, do you have a plan B? If you don't, then you have to have an insurance. Then comes the next step of what insurance. See, what happens is, it's a very cluttered space. So there are so many things which are there, which is bound to confuse you. To make things simple, just latch on to one of them which is the best, and then don't evaluate anything else. Term plan is the only insurance you should be ever interested in. Okay, don't even bother about evaluating a unit-linked insurance plan. A term plan is one where you pay a nominal fee to cover yourself and the money never comes back. If I've taken a term cover and I've paid 15,000 rupees as the premium to cover myself for 1 crore rupees. See, for example, if you're 30, 35, for 1 crore rupee, your average premium is as low as 15,000 rupees. So if I die in that year where I've paid 15,000 rupees, my family gets back 1 crore. So isn't that money well spent? Okay, to cover 365 days, I'm spending 15,000 rupees. So term plans, and if I don't die that year, I don't get back that 15,000. So that's a term plan. Always, whenever somebody gives you an insurance, you ask him whether it's a term plan. If he says no, you say no, I don't want to evaluate it.
Deepak, I want to talk to you about pension funds. So we have PPFs and obviously companies have EPFs. Recently, I think now EPFs have become transferable, or rather, you can move it when you switch jobs. How important is it to, companies obviously put in money in an EPF, but how important is it to also maybe look at a PPF separately?
PPF is one of the best tool to build a retirement corpus. It gives you an excellent tax-free return of 8.7%. You can put your 1.5 lakhs as of today, and it's a best instrument if you align your retirement goal with the PPF, because PPF is a minimum 15 years and subsequently you can extend it every 5 years. So most of people, when they start working, they have a retirement which is 30 years away. So why not take an instrument which meets that requirement? Firstly, when you invest, you get a tax break. All the accumulation, that is the interest, 8.7% as of today, is tax-free. And when you withdraw that money at the end of 20 or 30 years, that money again comes to you tax-free. So I think if you look at it, if you compare it with any other instrument, and if you look at it any other instrument, no other instrument is able to beat this.
You're watching NSE FinWiz powered by CNBC TV 18. It's time for a very short break, after which we go over to the audience as they put forth their questions to our experts.